Optimize your hydration with Cell-WellBeing's Hydration app. The app recreates natural crystalline structures which are often found in fresh spring waters. These structures enhance absorption and hydration capabilities. A liquid's original crystalline structure can be broken by the conduction of electromagnetic waveforms. These invisible waveforms surround us all, as they are needed to run Wi-Fi paraphernalia and mobile phones. The Cell-WellBeing app conquers a liquid's electro-oxidizing waves by harnessing quantum mechanic technologies with biophotonic frequencies. Apply the app's rejuvenating frequencies onto any liquid before consumption, and you will notice the liquid enjoys a fresher aroma and smoother taste. The app can also be used on face creams and body lotions to improve their absorbability. You can even create your own misted water spray to control smaller unwanted wrinkles or to bolster your balance and strength. As light is faster than sound, you can demonstrate the app's biophoton effectiveness over thousands of kilometers simply by shining your phone's web app light onto your computer's camera during a live video conference. The video participants who are holding a glass of liquid up to the screen will all discover that their glass of juice or water becomes lighter in color, smoother in taste, and has an improved aroma. Children similarly prefer the taste of their juice and milk after the use of the app. Pets also prefer their drinking water revitalized with the Cell-WellBeing app. The Cell-WellBeing app has been economically priced at only $2.50 USD per month with the promotion code. The app includes two separate functions. Hydration optimizes all liquids before consumption, while the Life application creates a stimulated, misted spray which supports balance and mental performance. To own your own Cell-WellBeing app and receive all of these important wellness benefits, use your smartphone with the promotion code to visit our website today.
All right, now let's talk about the water. Do you want to do the test over these thousands of kilometers, or have you already done it?
Yeah, I've not.
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, I've not done. I've been traveling, unfortunately. I had a last minute a trip that I had to do, which just happened to coincide when this became available. So I've probably done the least testing of everybody. I have done. I've done the water taste test. Because when I was just trying it out, and I've tried it on both the Android and the iPhone, and I'm not convinced at the moment that the iPhone was working properly.
Okay.
So have a few concerns in that direction. So certainly is a different experience when using it on the iPhone compared with the Android.
I can tell you what that is, and it's the vibration. So we started this idea of streaming, but the amount of equipment we needed was huge because we had to have beamers and all sorts of things, and then they had to be able to be backed up if they failed. But on the app that I had, which was on a phone, we had 13 frequencies. We now have 84 frequencies.
Whoa, wow.
On the hydration, because we are free streaming, on the hydration it's 84. On the Life app, it is 87. Okay. Now, one of the things, if I plug mine in, I don't know, Ray, have you had this done on your, by Peter over the screen to you?
No, we've not. No, we've not done that because I've unfortunately been on the road, and so we've not done that.
Let's do that. I'm going to just put my normal app on, shine it to my camera, and everything you've got is going to change. If you've got some juice, if you've got some whiskey, wine, water, whatever you like, just get 2 glasses. When you're doing the demonstrations, my advice is not to use water.
Yeah, it's subtle, isn't it?
Because they can't taste the difference. And when they chink them together and the ripples are different and everything, it's too much science for them.
Yeah.
But if you get a bitter drink, it's, oh my gee. Yeah, where do I get this from? So
yeah.
Have you got something close by that you're prepared to put in your mouth, Ray?
Yeah, so I will have to, what I'm going to do is squeeze some orange juice from some satsumas that I have.
Great.
So I'll do that. They're a little sweeter perhaps, but
that's okay.
Let me go and do that. Don't need much of this anyway.
No.
I'll do that. I don't have, or maybe I have orange juice. Yeah, I think I might have orange juice, yes.
Whichever,
so
it doesn't matter. Okay.
So I've got orange juice.
2 glasses.
Yep, no problem.
Okay.
So
just put a little bit in.
Yep.
Okay. If you go and do that, you'll hear us talking anyway.
Yeah.
Peter.
Yes.
Your glasses are too full. Okay.
Too full.
Yes, for a side-on presentation.
Okay, so shall I empty half of it?
I would take half out.
Okay. I'll put it
The reason is, Peter, even though we're getting the full side, we're not getting wonderful. Thank you, brother. Thank you. The surface sees the biggest change. And because the surface is lighter, it goes down into the liquid. Wonderful.
Right. So now I got 2 glasses with much less.
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful.
So just use little is better than more. Yeah.
When you're doing a quick demonstration.
Yeah.
If you're going to use the full app, on the hydration side, it lasts for 48 seconds.
Yeah.
On the life side, it lasts for 1 minute, 20 seconds.
Right.
Okay. Because the shorter the time, I've discovered that you're presenting, the more impressed they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. They think, oh my goodness. And then you simply say, you're not telling a lie, you just take a little longer if there's more liquid. End of story. Yeah. But okay. I'm going to tell you a little trick when Ray comes back for the whole thing, because I think you two, because this is only beta, there's only one other person who knows what we're doing.
Right.
Outside the team.
Right.
Okay.
Is that Dr. Maria who was on your video?
Yes.
Yes.
And she's very big in epigenetics and has these YouTubes. And she caught me at a good moment and she said, I know you're doing things with water, Ian, or live on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I had to come back and do it. But the lucky thing is, if you record what I'm doing,
yeah,
with the light, the recording is compressed, and of course, a recording cannot record frequency.
Yeah,
it can record sound. So when they replay it, it doesn't work, which is fantastic. So it's really good.
Yeah.
So when I've done this to 50 people in China, everything changed.
Yeah.
The maximum I have done is 800 in 7 different countries at the same time as a test, part of our team.
Yeah.
Everything changed. So it's huge when you know you're thousands of kilometers away in doing this. Okay?
Right.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to plug in my speakers, okay?
Mhm.
And then I'll tell you why in a minute. I'll take my cover off. Right, so let me plug this one in. It works without. So I'm just telling you, you don't need the sound.
Right.
But I'm putting the sound on here so that you can hear something in the background. And it's the background, not the doo-doo-doo-doo. It's something else, okay? Right, so I plugged that in.
Okay, just let you know what I've got. I've got some whiskey. I've got a very small amount of whiskey.
Fantastic.
Okay, I've got a small amount of orange.
Okay, but you need 2 glasses of whiskey and 2 glasses of orange.
Yeah, the other glasses I've hidden in the other room.
Okay, so the other glasses, you can actually have them behind the screen. It doesn't need to be in the other room.
No, I understand that. But
Yep. So if you're with anybody, just say, put it in behind the screen so it can't see the light, okay?
Yeah.
And then the others, if you just hold them up to the screen, okay? I'm going to play this for... Sorry?
Let me just mention this. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, Ian. Apologize for that. I just want to... Okay, so just in case this makes a difference, I mean, these are all variables, right, that we want to make sure we've got. So when I'm looking at the screen, looking at myself, it looks like your camera is a lower resolution than Peter's possibly.
Yes.
And I think, and to me, Peter's camera looks slightly lower resolution than mine. That's looking on my screen.
Yes.
I don't know how they look on your screen. They may all look
exactly the same. I think you've got a high-tech camera. Peter's got probably a separate camera. My camera is just in my computer. And my computer is a Lenovo computer, that's all. So nothing special about the camera.
Yeah, so the resolution will be not so good, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so it works on low or high resolution. It actually makes no difference, all right? The resolution makes no difference.
Okay,
so
thank you. I just want to understand that, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to press the button on here.
So let me lock your screen so I've got full screen. Does that matter?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. So I'm going to just use the hydration app. I'm going to start it. Hold your 2 glasses of test items up to the screen, and we'll do the test. Switch it off, and I'll unplug this. When I play the hydration app without the boost, everything that's changed on your glasses change the same. But after we do the little test, we'll talk some science, and then you'll understand why I plugged it in so you could hear something a bit special. Now, if you don't mind just retrieving your other glasses, the control items.
Yep, got it.
Peter, on yours, it's orange. You will see that the one I've changed is slightly lighter in color. It should be refracting more light.
Yeah, it is slightly when I look at it. There's a slight difference.
It does look a little lighter.
Yes, it's just if you had a refractometer, it also shows it. And this is because
it is slightly brighter.
Yep, this is because in the change we've added, if you know what we're doing, we add the ion, and the ion creates or recreates a crystal, a long molecular crystalline chain, and that's why you get more refraction, and it appears to be brighter in color. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you wouldn't mind smelling the one we changed and then smelling the other one we didn't. Don't do anything. Don't say anything. I'll tell you what the difference is. Okay. It's a bigger difference on the alcohol, Ray. And because you've got a crystalline chain, it's a bigger difference, Ray, on the alcohol. It's huge. So if you smell the one we changed first and then the one that we didn't change, the difference is very big. So what's happened is the crystalline structure has, if you like, stopped the off-gassing of the alcohol, or the off-gassing of the oxidation, and so it smells fresher and not as sour. Now, if you taste the one we changed first and then the other one, so if you're going to do it, Ray, taste
which one,
your
the orange or the alcohol?
Or taste your alcohol, Ray. The one I changed. Taste that first.
Yeah, it is sort of sweet. Notice it's kind of a sweeter taste, and there is no aftertaste.
That's right, and it's smoother. Now,
Smoother, no aftertaste.
Ray, now taste get the alcohol we didn't change and taste that. Now, the second one has more fire and it's sour, and you can taste it on your bitter taste buds at the back of your throat. You can feel the fire going down into your throat compared to the first one. Now, if you taste it the other way around, people will swear there's no difference. And the reason is because they are they're left with the bitter taste in their mouth and the bitter smell in their nose, and they can't separate the softer taste. And unless you've got an absolute wine or tea or coffee connoisseur who knows how to clean the palate.
So you might need like a water cleanser to
absolutely don't do it.
No.
Absolutely don't do that. That's what I've been about to talk about. Unless they are real connoisseurs and they realize that your brain cannot remember taste. Your brain cannot remember smell. It has no idea how to remember smell or taste. It assumes that it's that taste. Can't remember it, can't compare them. So if you take a drink of water in between to so-called cleanse the palate, as if you know what you're doing, they swear there's no difference because the brain, the nose, and the taste buds can't remember anything. They can't compare. The comparison is immediate. Now, when you go to a connoisseur of wine, connoisseur of wine has drunk so much wine of a particular type, and he can tell you. And they do use a little bit of water, but not a lot, what the difference is. So it was something I don't know, let's say 35 years ago, when I started doing all the things that I do, which are always hardware. And Peter, I was using Schott-Spiesel in Germany to make my first products, one of which is here, which you can see it's got some little round corners on it. Yep.
Yeah.
Schott-Spiesel, okay. But we were making special minerals and adding them to their minerals, but the minerals were 2 million years old. And
Right.
it was brilliant, and they had to clean the vats and everything else. So it became very expensive. But that's when I learned that people, if they taste it the wrong way around, 35 years ago, they can't distinguish the difference. Why? Hamburg University gave me all the answers.
Oh, really?
Yes, because they have a very special section there on water and the taste of water. So they were fantastic. So yes, so what I've been explaining about the difference in the taste and smell, your brain can't remember. It just assumes that your orange should taste like that. Now, now your palate has almost become normal again, Ray, because you've had alcohol. Now do the same thing with your orange.
Okay, so the one that's been treated first.
Yeah, smell it, because there's a difference in the smell. Okay, now smell the other one. Okay, the one that you smelled first smells sweeter, and it smells more like an orange than the one you've just done, than the one that wasn't changed. Now, taste the one that I changed. And then taste the other one.
Definitely more bitter, the other one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And then I'll tell you something about oranges, which might amaze you both. And Peter can go out or Ray can go out and try this. Okay. Yep. So it's more sour. It's not as fresh tasting as the one we changed.
That's
Yeah,
right.
so
Yeah.
my palate might not be as sensitive as yours, so it's more subtle.
Okay. Have you, Peter, Ray?
It feels a little sweeter.
Okay. The one I changed is sweeter, yes. And it should be also it's filling your mouth more because it's got less surface tension than the older one. Now, have you got a cut anywhere on your body, Ray?
Not at the moment.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. Right. Well, the orange that I've changed, you can actually put on a cut and it doesn't sting. But here's something about orange juice, which is wonderful for genetics and epigenetics. Do you know you can actually go into an orchard of trees, okay, pluck the fresh apple or orange in this case off the tree, and within 30 seconds put your finger in the orange that you've just plucked off the host and rub it in your eye. It doesn't sting. Absolutely doesn't sting. Wait 5 minutes, put your finger in the same hole and put it in your other eye, and it really stings, so have some water nearby. The difference is the fresh orange had the frequencies of the host. And when those frequencies left, died away, they now start to separate and everything gets a bit sour. But in epigenetics, we would tell you that your own frequencies cannot recognize the orange juice, and they say, pain, get this away from you. When it has the correct frequencies, your own frequencies recognize and say, oh, that's good, I need vitamin C, and they take it in. Isn't that amazing? What's even more amazing is that when you take the orange juice into your eye and all around, it's not sticky. There's no orange mark at all. There's nothing. Whereas the 5-minute-old orange, 10-minute, 15 minutes, it's like fire, half a day. You really need gallons of water. But you can do the same thing if you get your fresh orange juice, okay, and what you think is fresh, but it's been dead for how many days, squeeze it into a petri dish and squeeze from the same orange into another petri dish. Find a cut on your body. You don't want to keep sticking things into your eyes. Put the app on it, okay? And the one you put the app on, rub it into a cut, it doesn't sting. Put your finger in the other orange juice that you didn't put the frequencies on, put it into the cut, and it really, really stings.
Interesting.
So if we carry a knife along with us, Peter.
Right.
Stabbed.
Right. So the big one is if you want to just do some tests over a few days.
Yes, absolutely.
The best one is to do cut flowers.
Cut flowers?
Yes. So just buy a bunch of flowers. They can be whatever you like. Okay. Have some app water made from the same water, because you don't want people to say, oh, well, you use different water. One's got more nutrition or whatever. Okay. So use your tap water and just energize one and don't energize the other. Put the half the flowers in half and one vase and half in the other vase. And you will find over a few days, the one with the app lasts twice, 3 times longer without dropping the petals than the one that didn't. The reason? It's picking the frequency up that it's just been lost from the earth and its host, the bulb or whatever, and it can live longer.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this question, Ian. Why is it that it loses the frequency from the host so quickly, yet when you use the app, it retains it?
Okay, it doesn't retain it. It just retains it for about 4 days, 5 days.
So
and
why
that
does
is the water, because there's a molecular crystalline chain, which we've had. My dear friend, you probably know Professor Emoto, who's no longer with us.
Yeah.
But when I was starting with frequencies, he was starting with taking photographs, and we did some crazy things together, absolutely bonkers stuff. But he wrote books, and that's so we use the Emoto University. Still, his son, who is a lovely, lovely guy, and his name is Hero of all things. So he's a hero to his father. And Hero and his team did all the testing for us on the crystals. So the crystalline structure produces the frequency because we produce an extra ion, all right? And that's how it's done, and the photons. So it lasts longer.
Got you. Okay.
okay, and regenerates. So you can see in cut flowers. Now try this on, say, watercress. So cut the punnet of watercress, okay, and take your mist spray, okay, and spray one half, and then get your normal water and spray the other half.
Yeah.
The watercress will double in size, easily double. We have a very big business on my other water business where we supply the farmers and we guarantee to increase their crop yield by a minimum of 32%. And they can cut back on all the fertilizer and all the other rubbish they're putting into the ground and their plants, which is very big for the marijuana buyers in America.
Mm-hmm.
If you increase the yield of marijuana by 32%, you're a millionaire. Just on that 32%. So it's quite big business, but we like to do this for poor farmers and a lot of people around the world. So it has lots of other potentials, but we've tried to make it small enough and not expensive. My other equipment is very expensive because it's hard to make. So my son said, Dad, let's try and do something for the earth and the planet and the world. And it's taken us 3 years to be able to put together his ideas. He's now 20. And he studied physics at Harvard University online. Berlin University accepted him, but he couldn't go at the beginning of this year. So he's studying online with Berlin University at the moment. And when it's all over, he's going to Berlin, not America. Sorry, Ray. So he won't be going to America. He'll be going to Germany. Now, let me then tell you about the Life app and the sound.
Right.
When you hear this playback, which I will send you by WeTransfer or something, when you hear the sound, you will hear a in the background. Okay?
Right.
That's a very, very, very special frequency that takes all the other frequencies back, not to 0 point, but to a harmonic wave, a sine wave, you know, is a curved wave rather than a spiked wave. So without the ooh, nothing works, okay? So you can have all the frequencies in the world, but if it's not being carried correctly, forget it. So that ooh is important, whereas in the Life one, you can hear it's different. If you listen to the background of the Life one, it's different. So you don't need the high sound, you need a little bit of sound on that, on the both of the apps when you're playing them. But I'm going to let you into a little secret. If you take the Life app, okay, this doesn't work on the hydration app. It's not designed to do what the Life app is designed to do, which is different again. Okay? Now, the Life app produces negative ions. The reason I wanted it to produce negative ions is that when you breathe them in, you produce naturally in your gut, you'll understand this, Ray, serotonin. And serotonin is the happy drug. It makes you feel good. It's like standing next to a waterfall. You just say, what? Oh, yes, I'm not stressed anymore. I'm not worried. And this virus is locking everybody down. They're getting stressed about the business. They might not have a job. They don't know where their next dollar is coming from. They're arguing with the families. It's not a pleasant time. And yet they don't have the virus. This we designed for those people. So they can just take the misted spray made from the app. It has some extra ions in it, and they just spray, and automatically they feel, ooh, they feel fresher. And after about 15 seconds, 30 seconds, oh, you get a bit of a rush, and you actually do feel happier. Yeah, it's really good. And for Peter, who's been working 72 hours on his other important project, it's very good. It keeps you mentally alert, Peter. I have mine next to me all the time because of my age and the amount of hours I have to put in these days for all my new inventions. It's crazy.
So a question. When I've treated this water, how long does the effect stay there? Do I have to repeat the light after a couple of days, or?
Yes, with the spray, I would say 48 hours, you're more than safe. We've done the tests up to 5 days and it works. However, you have to have the one however.
Yeah.
If UV light gets to this for more than 8 hours, forget it, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Also,
we should use a cloudy glass bottle.
Yes, blue, not green.
We should use one of those.
I've got green here. Yeah.
Okay, green's not as powerful as a refractor of the UV light. Peter, just hold your green one up to your screen. You see what I mean, Ray? You can see, or you can see it. Can you see the difference?
No, because he's got his background. He's got a green screen and he's got his.
Oh, right. Okay. Right. Okay.
Turn your background off, Peter.
Okay. Blue.
Turn your background off.
Yeah, I'm doing that. 1 second.
Turn your background off.
Okay.
There.
That's it. Now show.
Yeah.
At least you can see it now. Yeah.
Yes, but can you see that the color's different? Where the water is and the top of it. So my advice to you, royal blue, best of them all, can't do better. It's a natural protector against UV.
Okay, so I'll try and find a blue bottle.
Yeah, royal blue is even better, okay? So, but really, if you're using it all the time, I use this, can you see the size of mine? It's a little small one, yeah? And it goes in my pocket and it's easy. But here is the mind blower for you guys. We had a lot of meetings and we said, what shall we say about this? And I've always said, keep it simple, stupid, because you can always talk through a sale. And I can stand on stage, and I've done this with 15, 20,000 people listening to everything I say, but I talk through it and I'm there for 2 hours.
Yeah.
But if I kept it to 15 minutes and walked off, there would have been more business. So here's something that we don't talk about, and it's up to you, should we talk about it, or you can talk about it. Try this. But it only works well, doesn't work so well on the hydration app, so on the Life app, okay? Do this.
Yeah.
Because we're using different frequencies, and on the Life app, we're not so much relying on the crystalline structure, we're relying on something else. Now, take the Life app, okay, and spray the bottom of a glass, just the bottom.
Right.
And put your whiskey in, put your juice in, whatever, and the same volume, same glass, somewhere else. Change. The same. Now, if you want the change to be even bigger, hold your glass upside down and spray 2 sprays into the glass going up. So it's still mist, but it's on the inside.
Right.
Okay. put your whiskey, your wine, your juice, your milk, whatever, turn it around. Oh, by the way, turn it around left. The spin is really important. So it must spin left.
Spin left, okay.
Yeah, change.
So when you say left, you mean anti-clockwise?
Yes. I've got so used to saying left because everybody, when you hear anti or negative,
Yeah,
right,
that's negative.
you ever talk about negative ions.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, it must be bad for me. They think they get negative ions above 30,000 feet on an aeroplane. Well, in fact, it's positive ions and they're really bad for you. Really bad. Okay. This produces negative ions. So we just say ions. And produce it left, turn it left. The change is exactly the same as if you've used the hydration app.
So you use the Life app.
Okay, so let me just...
You use the Life, I'm not going to empty glass here. So basically the Life app, and I spray the water from underneath into the glass.
Yes.
And then I can add orange juice, and it will have the same effect as the hydration app.
Yes, just turn it left.
You got to spray the bottom though as well, right?
Oh, no. You've got two choices.
Oh, okay.
Spray the bottom, okay? Pour your liquid in, turn it left, and it will change. It won't change as much. It'll take about 3 minutes to change as if it was the hydration app.
Yeah.
But if you spray the inside, put the liquid in, just make sure it's just the spray, because otherwise everybody will say, oh, well, you've got some liquid in it, that's why it's this, and this. The brain will try and make every excuse in the world for something that is natural, but they don't understand frequencies. So just spray it up. The frequency will be there, pour the liquid in, end of story. The only problem with teaching them that is if the water was unhygienic when they put it in, it's still unhygienic in there. Yeah. So I always say, spray the bottom of your glass and it just gets rid of all the other problems. Okay? Yeah. And it works just as well. And the other one, if you know, and I'm sure, Ray, you know all about kinesiology. So just if you know about kinesiology, do the simple one. You stand, you put your arms out straight, your two hands together, and you turn as far as you can. Then you just spray yourself. Do the same thing, at least 30% further.
Huh.
That's all.
Great, I'm going to test that one.
And it's great for golf.
Uh-huh.
So yes. Spray. So it really, it works in many things. If you use the spray on vegetables, so if you're using green vegetables, they will stay crunchier longer.
Right.
Because it's
so you're saying that when you buy them, you spray them immediately after you bought them?
Yes, they will have a much longer shelf life, much longer. Same as milk. Just spray the outside of the carton, it will have a much longer shelf life.
Interesting. So it works through the carton.
You've created a field. You know, frequencies, EMF, ELF, they go through the wine, the whiskey, the juice, everything that you thought was fresh isn't fresh at all. And frequencies, ELF, EMF, everything goes through them and they oxidize. So all we do is we found a way to unoxidize, if you like, and that's why it tastes better. And which is why it's much better for your guts, because you're not taking oxidative stress into your guts. It's really important, particularly these days. And it's fantastic, but we want to make it available to the poor people who were stressed. But when I say poor, you know, the wealthy people are now poor. The rich are now poor. Everybody's watching their dollars and cents. So by making it only $2.50 a month, we should be charging more. But by making it only that, at least it's there. And by telling people, okay, if you can afford $2.50 and you don't have to buy 12 months in advance, if you can only afford 1 month, buy 1 month, it's $2.50, and you can try it. And if you don't like it, then don't buy it next month. But when you find out the power of this, please do us all a favor. Get all the people you know and love in your life on a Zoom call and shine your camera on the Zoom call, and they can, if you use the Life app, they can make misted water. And that misted water is worth a lot more than $2.50 in their lives. And we can hopefully at least improve where the world is.
Yeah.
And there is a lot more frequencies coming, but we wanted to start somewhere. And because I've known you for many years, Peter, and let the secret out of the bag, I think about 5 months ago.
Yeah.
And you've got the same point of view as me. It's not so much the how much it costs us to bring it to the world. It's how much good can we do for the world, and that's your attitude. That's my attitude, and you kept pestering me. So I said, okay, right. The first person that's ever going to get this is Peter, and so you've got the beta version before it goes live. We are waiting for the other frequencies. And then because we're live streaming, we don't have to update anybody. It's all updated on the live stream. So
that's right. Yeah, very clever.
It's fantastic. So we can just change like that and everybody gets the update. So when we add more frequencies or different applications, which we're now working on, we're working on one for sleep, etc. There's lots going on behind the scenes, but we have to get the main two out, hydration and the mist spray, out to the world now and quickly. So although we haven't launched it, you two have got it ahead of everybody else, and only one other person knows about it. But they still don't have the codes that you have.
Right. Okay, so they don't have it yet.
Okay. No. Because we finished doing the beta tests.
Which we've been helping with,
Yeah, very good. Thank you very much indeed. Fantastic. Thank you, guys.
So there's just a couple of things from what you said there, Ian, if I can ask. Okay, one, you mentioned sleep. I think that's a very important thing. If you can do something for insomnia, that would be a very helpful thing. Whether that's a separate product, I don't know, but potentially
it will be just the same product, but you'll have another option. Got you. Okay.
Right.
What are your thoughts? Because everybody's getting a bit nervous about 5G. Okay,
already,
and the effects.
Being involved with all the EMF, ELF for probably 6 years, 7 years because of my epigenetic business.
Right.
It's not so much the 5G, it's the 16 hertz within the 5G, and it's also the spike. It's much quicker than the other spike, so it's more like a microwave. And yes, it really does some damage. And so we now know Denmark, There's some amazing scientists in Denmark. There's some amazing people in Italy and also in Germany, as you know, and you've got a couple of people in Washington State University who are also talking about this. So the answer is, you're never going to stop it. We're all so used to our mobile phones. I can tell you, men keep the phones next to the pocket and they wonder why they can't have children. The sperm count goes through the floor.
Right.
We know if the lady puts the phone on her tummy during pregnancy, during the term, we have some issues with the birth. Okay?
Right.
So these are unquestionable facts. There are others which may be questioned, but the answer is it's not as good as drinking water. Our problem is that 5G, 4G, 3G, 2G is surrounding us all, and it's absorbed by liquids that we drink, because a liquid conducts electricity. So my way of fixing the absorption of it in the liquid was to create the frequencies that stop it oxidizing the liquid. So that was one. Number two, should we be using it? Well, that's for more intelligent people than me, but I can say, if they switch it off, we're still going to use these. We're still going to use, because it brings a lot of benefits with it.
Yeah.
And we're not going to switch it off. It's impossible.
Well,
So
okay.
can we protect ourselves against it?
Right.
Probably not, except
Okay.
if we wear a complete spacesuit, because it will permeate anything. So even if you didn't have one of these and you're walking around outside, or you're sleeping in your bed at night, it's there. However, there are some underwear garments which you can wear in, and they're manufactured in America. They're very good. They're made for the Air Force, so that when they're surrounded by all the electronics in their cockpit, they don't have a problem. And so there are some undergarments already manufactured over there.
You know any brands? Do you know any brands?
I don't know. No, I don't know the brands. But I can tell you the mist spray. Why do you feel tired when you're sitting behind the screen, et cetera, et cetera? It's not just your eyes, it's this radiation. Simply do this, and the ions on here give you that temporary block. I go through, this is only a small one, that's empty by the time I've done a 12-hour day in front of the computer. And I feel great. And we use these. This is another thing that I've manufactured.
Yeah.
Yep. And this has 2 Tesla coils in it. Bear with me a second. I'll show you a little bit of secret. So inside a normal chip card, you've got this, and your chip goes here where, can you see my, see here? Yeah?
Yeah.
That's clear. That's where the chip is, and I'm putting my finger over it. And around the outside, you might be able to see some copper metal that carries the frequencies. This is what's in our card, okay?
Right.
So it's larger.
Yeah.
So the chip carries the frequency, and it goes around. And one of the most important earthing frequencies is 7.82 and 7.83 and 7.84. They're the Schumann frequencies.
Yeah.
So when people say they're earthing, what they're actually should be getting is Schumann. But in a lot of cases, they're not getting the Schumann frequency. Yep. they're getting higher. And in
Right.
parts of, let's say, the major cities in America or in Europe, they're getting not 7.82, 83, or 84. They're getting 15 hertz. So they're not earthing at all. And when they're there, they feel more tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we use the generator, frequency generator, which put out the Schumann frequencies. Would that then help?
Yes. That's what I've, in the app of the 84 frequencies, one of them is Schumann. In the card, a lot of it is to Earth, and then all the other frequencies is there. So yes, it's great to be earthed because you were born earthed, as it were.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So let me just. Sorry, Peter. Go ahead.
So this card does this card that you show have the similar effect to the app? Because I noticed you were offering it on the website as well.
Yes, it's there just for people who want to do more water. So the app allows us to do a glass of water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people want to do 5 liters of water, and they don't want to use the app all the time. So they simply put the card underneath the 5-liter jug, and they pour all the water in there. That's it. Okay. So we use that at home. But when I'm away, I always use our apps. They're much easier to carry around.
Yeah. You got the phone anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. So the app's the starter for people to experience it and say, wow, this is fantastic. Most people actually feel that much better after a few days. And they notice that their urine gets darker in color because it detoxes. Okay. And the reason I
was noticing that when I was urinating in recent days, I've been using your app quite a bit, and I did notice that the urine was kind of, I thought almost it's like it was a slight bloody color. And I was noticing that in the urine, and I was thinking, oh, what's happening here? Almost wondering if anything was wrong. Huh? Yeah. But you're saying this comes from the app.
It's detoxing until your urine becomes clear. Because, Peter, you've had a build-up of only, I know you're a young guy, only 30 years of toxins in your system. But because the molecular structure takes the things that were deposited behind. So let's say the sediment in your pipe. My other water business, we just remove the sediment and the scale from the pipe, and we guarantee within 90 days. And all the scale for the last 40 years has disappeared. And people say, well, where's it gone? It's very easy. It's just joined the end of the water. So when you turn off the tap, turn off the faucet or whatever, all that scale that was there, it's joined the end, and it goes down the sink. So after 90 days, it doesn't do it overnight because that's too big a shock for the system. So yeah, it descales pipes. That's the big stuff I do. But on the human body, it's fantastic. It's really good. And one of the sites.
Descale your arteries.
Well, the water doesn't get into the arteries, Peter, and I know what you're going at. It doesn't get into the arteries, but the frequency will assist the food that you're consuming now to produce the nitrous oxide to clear your arteries. Yeah. Yeah, the NO3. Yeah. When you've got a lot of acid in your stomach, Peter, it's very hard for that natural occurrence of nitrous oxide to be released for those 1 second at night, and we think 1 second during the day. So it's a good idea to use the app when you're taking nutrition, because now your nutrition becomes bioavailable. And you can see that by just, if you take your nutrition, drop it into the app water, and then drop it into the normal water, and just leave it. And you will see that your nutrition has absorbed more in the app water than it has in the non-app water. And that's because of the molecular structure.
So for example, if I were to peel some potatoes and put them into water and then use the app on that water and leave it for a while, that would improve the quality of the potatoes? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, but the app on that water, the water that you're using is too big.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, okay, so you run it a few times?
No.
No.
Use the spray.
Yeah.
And spray the potatoes before you put them in the water.
Okay.
Then you see it.
Oh,
and
okay.
you can taste it. And do it with your carrots and other things. Yeah. Or after cooking.
Right. You spray it after it's cooked?
Yes.
With the water?
Yep. And it just becomes, the good things become bioavailable, and you will notice when you go to the bathroom.
Right.
Okay, if I can ask some questions here, just to follow up, Ian, if it's okay. A couple of things then. So one thought was, from what you were saying, and of course, you know, our feet are also where a lot of our body can be traced to the feet.
Yes.
Our organs and stuff. So then, in theory, then, could you not kind of come up with some slippers or some socks that have your card built into it, so that it helps?
We did. We had them made, and they're fantastic. And we had them made in Germany. But you know what? Too expensive.
Yeah.
Too much shipping. Too much handling. And I can do the same with this.
Okay, so here's the question then. So let's say that you're looking at so for example, our routine, we actually have a PEMF mat. So we go on in the morning and for 8 minutes, and we go on that in the evening for 8 minutes. Okay.
Good.
So we also shower, and you know, we've got a filter on the shower head to keep the chlorine away and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So then conceivably after you've dried, would it be good to spray yourself, not just your head, but everything, okay, and your feet, then before going to bed?
Yes. Yes. It really works. It really works. In some of the spa resorts, of course, they charge lots of money in spa retreats, but they use this, and they charge a lot of money for it. But you know, that's called commercial business, and we just need to bring that little bit of magic to the world to, make them feel better.
Okay, next question then. With respect to 5G, so what you're saying is, I mean, obviously there's a question right now trying to work out, is there, from your viewpoint, because the 5G is surrounding us anyway, right? Is it going to make much? So I'd argue that there's actually not much benefit to 5G from a phone use viewpoint, from the lifestyles that people have right now. I mean, we can still do a video call with 4G, okay? You know, we can still download stuff at a reasonable time with 4G. So I don't see the added benefit of 5G, notwithstanding that they'll develop something future probably. So does it make any difference to having just sticking with a 4G phone, or is it okay to embrace a 5G phone in your opinion?
In my opinion, it makes no difference at all. If you've got a 3G phone and you're walking around in 5G, the problems are still there.
Still there, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. There are shields we make. We make one. There's a number of them. This is made by us. It's 4 little studs. it creates a field. But what I want you both to do in, how long have you had the beta version of the app now?
Few days, a week maybe.
A week?
Oh.
Okay. Right.
No, I haven't. So I've had it since Thursday, Wednesday, I think.
Okay.
So Thursday,
Keep
Friday,
put-
Saturday. So it's 4 days.
Ray, you must use it twice a day for 7 days. And then I'm going to tell you another little thing. Then get your phone after 7 days, and you've promised you've used it twice a day, okay? Get your phone that has the app
That's the
on
spray.
it. You can use whatever the app is, either the hydration or the spray app, it doesn't matter, okay? Then after 7 days, get your phone and stand the empty glass on the back of your phone, pour the whiskey in, or your juice or whatever, or your milk, and it will have changed. Because your phone has something else inside it. It has some rare metals and rare minerals, platinum and all sorts of other things in there. The frequencies become embedded in your board, okay? So your phone becomes safe, and it will germinate seeds, which a normal phone cannot germinate seeds.
Right.
Yeah? So your phone becomes more harmonious to your life because of the frequencies on the app. But it takes about, well, not about, it takes 7 days using the app twice a day. Then you want to see if your phone is harmonious, stand it and put that on. And the phone will be able to do that, and you can generate the app once a day, but it needs to be recharged, because every time you use your phone, you have a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
it's still coming in. So use the app, and we embed, if you like, into the circuit board of this so that it's okay. Now try something else after 7 days, not now. So you switch your phone on. We can do it over Zoom. Okay. Now, phone somebody a few thousand kilometers away on their normal phone, but ask them to put their normal phone while you're talking under a glass of water. And while you are talking, you have to talk, Ray. It doesn't do it on its own. You can say whatever you like while you're talking to that person, and then they taste the drink or the juice or whatever. It's changed as well. Don't need the light.
Strange.
So there's a lot of things in this physics of science that we can now do that we couldn't do before. And in the past, people would keep my science quiet and make a fortune from it. This is not the time for it. And for the first time, we've come out and said, okay, we are going to take it to the world through people like yourself who have the same thoughts as me. This is the time the world needs help. And it needs help from physics and science.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need help from people who are going to scam and make millions and trillions of dollars from them. We need to do it now.
That's right.
That's why we're doing it. And that's why I'm telling you this. This is all free, so you can help somebody else just by talking or having a Zoom call. They don't have to buy the app. We can help the world just by doing that.
If we were to spray the phone with the mister, would that speed it up?
No, no, it doesn't. It works in a different way. It has to be in the minerals during the app playing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So spraying the phone would not make no difference.
No, it doesn't. And yes, I've tried it, Peter. I've even dropped it in, held it into a swimming pool, a waterproof, It doesn't work.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
my swimming pools are all energized. So when you go into my swimming pools, you come out and you want to fight the world. You're really alive
All right.
because of all the energy.
So have you come up with a shower head?
Don't need to, Raymond. All you need is, oh, I've got one here. This you put on the cold water mains going into your house, and your hot water changes because it uses cold water, and everything changes, everything. As long as you don't have a pump. If you have a pump, then you need to put it on after the pump.
Right.
This has two little, can you see the little screws there?
It's like those things for the car.
It's like the car one.
Exactly, yeah, it's like that, but a bigger version. I can tell you right now, we're working on something that you could charge from your phone and put around your cold water pipe. And as long as you charge it once a week, it will do the same thing. That's what we're working on now. It's inexpensive, but I still need about 6 months of tests and everything else. So we're nearly there.
Gotcha. That's fantastic. That's great, Ian.
So having, if you like, broken cover, because normally we manufacture for other people who own brand and take them around. But having decided this is the time we need to help, then we cut all the middlemen out. And you can get the price down at an affordable price to help the world. And this is the right thing now.
Absolutely.
You might want to so one of the guys, he's not very well now, unfortunately, but he was a world expert on Legionella.
Ooh.
And, it might be interesting to see if that has any effect on Legionella. Legionella is a scary type of thing in that it can actually swim against the flow of the water.
We did some work in Australia about 15 years ago with it, with a wonderful man, absolute amazing doctor, physicist, scientist, doctor, water expert. He's now 92 and he's still phones me once a week or whatever, and so the answer is yes, we've done a lot of work on it, and yes, it works with it. But once you get into making the claims, then that's okay.
Yeah,
but then the big problem is the price goes up, way up, because the license to sell it for that, because of whoever's involved.
Yeah, it's very expensive. Yeah,
you don't need, and it doesn't need to be.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, that's the system.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so let me just ask another question.
Yes, sir.
Because you mentioned about we were talking about grounding, and so what I'm hearing from you is that the problem is you have that risk of, especially the way a lot of the products are out there, they're designed to plug into the ground pin of your socket, and so that's problematic because you can have frequencies coming in, so you could be causing more trouble. But another option might be to have a separate grounding rod that goes into the ground, and then potentially you might get benefited Schumann frequencies coming into your grounding sheet. I don't know if that's even possible. I don't know, but otherwise, I think what you're saying is grounding is perhaps not the best options, could cause more harm than good, and that simply using the spray may provide a better overall solution. Is that what I'm reading?
Not quite. Depending on where you are on the planet and depending on where you are in a country, if you're in a major city, forget grounding, guys, because the stuff that's around you is just going everywhere. If you're out in the countryside, let's say you're near the sea, on the beach, or you have a hotel or resort which is near the sea, on the beach, or built over the sea, the earthing and the grounding there is fantastic. The problems we have in the big cities, we have to treat differently than when we're in nature. If we're in nature, in the middle of a forest, yes, all of those things work. They're great. But in a big city, no.
Gotcha.
So my advice would be, if you've got Schumann generators, it's the frequency. It's not where it's from. Now we know, or now we all know, it's the frequency. So if we can give you the Schumann frequency, it doesn't matter what's going on around you. It's great.
Gotcha. Okay. So you raised another interesting point. So this is, and you probably know this guy. There's an Egyptian character, and the Egyptians developed shapes that could combat EMF. And there's a guy called, and I'm trying to remember his name, Ibrahim. He's, you'll find, I'll have to find information on it. I'm sure you've probably come across him. He did some work in I think, some city in Germany, I think it was, where they had a lot of people suddenly became sick within the city. And they'd recently installed a radio station outside the city, and everybody was suffering interference from that. And he was able to put up some geometric shapes, so sacred geometry, and put these up, and was able to basically minimize the impact of that for the city. He also, I know a guy who's in South Florida who's very familiar, who's been trained by this guy, and he says there are places where they can go and place this, and it basically protects the city between the power station, if you like, and the city itself. Have you come across him?
No, but I agree wholeheartedly, and we have done it ourselves to certain places on the earth, and it works. It really does work. But most people will think you're nuts.
Yes, no, of course I do, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you always have that.
Yes,
yeah.
So you have to be absolutely really careful. There is, I've forgotten the name, there's a special shape, a Tesla used it, okay? It's a bit of a Tesla coil, okay? But it's French, and the Egyptians were involved in it, and you can see it on some of the pyramids. And it's, it came into my head there. I don't use it often, this word. I'll send you the shape, and it's the Fibonacci. Okay. Fibonacci. Okay.
That's the shape.
Yes, it's called the Fibonacci shape. Okay, it's not called the Fibonacci shape, but if you look up Fibonacci, you'll see the shape. Okay.
Okay.
That's fantastic. I am going to put my head on a pillow because it's been many long days finally getting this to the market. We're still not launched, and now I've still got some more tweaks to do. So I'm up early in the morning because I've got to catch these guys early in the morning.
And we added to your list of things to do, yeah.
No, they were positive ads, my chaps. Thank you very much, brothers. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye for now, Ian. Good to talk to you again.
God bless. Stay safe. Just stay safe. The rest of the things we can fix.
Absolutely.
Stay safe. God bless.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.